get started, it's an honor and a pleasure to introduce the 2016 Quicken Loans National champion, Billy Hurley III. Billy, if you could pick a spot to win your first PGA Tour title, I have a feeling this may be the one right here. Just comment a little about the emotions that you're feeling right now.
Yeah, this is definitely the one. Just being so close to home, close to the academy, close to where I grew up, and then just being a part of the event on the PGA Tour that does the absolute most to honor our military here at Quicken Loans National. It's just couldn't script a better one for me to win as my first tour win.
And you did it in dramatic fashion too. Just comment on the 15th hole first of all, if you can.
Yeah, I hit an okay drive, and the wind just didn't kind of bring it back, and got up under the lip in the bunker and just kind of had to hit it out towards the front. I went towards the front, and I hit a good pitch there. I hit a great pitch, really. I didn't know how good it was. And then the crowd started getting really excited as I was watching it go towards the hole, and I was just thinking it was going to miss and, hope it stays 6 feet away or so, and then disappeared. And it totally shocked me to see that ball disappear. I kind of lost myself for a minute there. Didn't know what to do. Probably looked that way on TV too.
And before we open it up to questions, this gets you into the Bridgestone Invitational next week, and also into the Open Championship at Royal Troon. Just comment on that. Yeah,
whirlwind there. I guess I got to cancel my ticket to Reno, but so excited to play Firestone. Excited to play the Open Championship at Troon. I'm gonna have to get a pass for my sister who gets married that Saturday though, so we're still got to talk about that probably. But we'll see how that goes. But I think it gets me into like Kapalua and the Masters, and like maybe 2 years on tour and stuff like that. Yep. It's pretty exciting.
Yep. All right, we'll start with questions with Steve.
Billy, can you talk about the phone call to Mr. Mullen last night?
Yeah, after I left the course, I was talking with one of my friends and advisors, and he said, just stay away from your phone, stay away from Twitter, let's just put that away for the day, for the night, and there's really nothing good that can come of kind of all that stuff. And I was sitting on my bed in the hotel room reading, and my phone, I always keep it on silent. I get yelled at by my wife all the time for my phone being on silent. It's a golfer's habit. And it just popped up and said Admiral Mike Mullen. I was like, kind of sat there for a second. I was like, it's like, you know what? When the chairman of the Joint Chiefs Staff calls, you answer the phone. So I answered the phone, and Admiral Mullen, said he was on a fishing trip in Montana, but just wanted to call me, and we talked for maybe 3-4 minutes, and he just told me what he tells me every time we talk, is how proud he is and how proud the military is of me and the Naval Academy of me, and it was really special for him to think of me last night.
Let's take two right here on the front row. Yep.
Billy, obviously wherever a player wins his first tournament's a big deal, but to win it here and to hold off 2 Hall of Famers in the process, does that make it even more special?
I guess you could say that. I don't really know. I think, anybody on tour who hasn't won would sign on the dotted line for any of the 44 or however many tournaments we have out here, Certainly was special to play with Ernie today, and Ernie's always been really nice to me, especially the last couple years, and, it was fun to play with him. He's a great champion, great player, great person, and he was really gracious in playing the last 3-4 holes with me when I was going to win and he wasn't.
All right, right here, and then Tom.
Hi, to piggyback off of Don, Brandy Sims from the Montgomery County Sentinel. You're in Annapolis, only half hour or so away from here. How special is that?
Do you know DC traffic?
It might be a little a little far. Yeah. But yeah, how special is it for you in your home state?
Yeah, couldn't be a better tournament to win from all the facets of it. From just being close to home, being close to the academy, close to where I grew up. It's just perfect.
Okay, Tom.
It's pretty hard for people who were watching not to try to imagine what you were feeling after the last putt. And I was wondering, since your dad taught you the game so much, did you feel that it was both a testimony to him as a golf teacher and also perhaps showed that nothing he had done had stopped you?
Yeah, all the above, I think. Ernie said that to me after I hold the last putt. He said something like, I think your dad's looking down, really proud of you.
Okay, yep. Right here.
Billy, you played these rounds this weekend with such focus, and you talked yesterday about that, how important that is for you. After that chip in on 15, and you let it all out there, and then going forward those next couple holes, how did it feel to know that you were in a pretty good spot and to be able to let some of that show?
Yeah, like I said, that when the ball disappeared on 15, it took me by surprise. It was just totally took me by surprise, and I didn't really know what to do. And that's probably the most emotion I've ever shown in my life. But the people who know me and served with me actually will tell you that's probably true. And then it was just trying to take a couple deep breaths and get back to golf. And I think just as special as that chip in was actually putting it right down the middle of the fairway on 16, because that's not always easy to do.
Okay, right here in the middle.
On 13, you made a great putt to save par. I'm curious what you thought that did for your round.
Well, I knew I was kind of, I knew I was in the lead, but I knew it wasn't very much. I three-putted 12. Me and that hole, goodness gracious, I've three-putted 12 on Sunday 3 times I've played here. And, so it really felt like I had to make that one, to stay in the lead and kind of feel like I was staying in control. So it's definitely an important putt.
Okay, Tom.
Some of us have studied your career since you've been in the lead and you've been close, you were in a playoff and this and that. But you seem to find resources this week that you haven't shown before. Were they technical, emotional, coaching? What were they?
I think this has been the culmination of about the last probably 6 months of working on my game, really. I worked really hard this winter. We built a new house and put about 600 square feet of a golf room and a gym in the basement. And so over the winter, I really worked hard on my swing, hitting into the screen there. And I put the screen too close to the wall, and now I've got a hole in the drywall, but we'll figure that out later. And so, I definitely have a more complete golf swing. It's very balanced. It's very allows me to work it both ways with pretty much ease. We've just been talking over the last couple of weeks is, just kind of dial in the wedge game, and that's kind of the last piece to really get over the hump.
All right, third row here.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask a couple things about what does it mean to you to get into the Masters? And about Troon, have you thought about what you're going to say to your sister and how things are going to get there? Or
Is she here? She's somewhere around here.
Is it close enough where you could fly over and fly back?
So it's not in France, or England. It's in Leesburg, Virginia. So, yeah. Something tells me it's going to be a pretty hard sell. We'll have to figure it out. Some of my team kept telling me, if you get in the Open, you're going. And I said, I don't know if you get in the Open, you're going. And send them a nice present, you're going. Yeah. So, I don't know. That's definitely certainly not a foregone conclusion that I'm going, to be honest with you. I'll go to Augusta. If I play well.
All right, right here, and then Tom.
Billy, the Naval Academy's turned out some pretty good athletes the last few years. Keenan Reynolds going to the NFL, a couple of Major League Baseball players, and obviously yourself. Is this a good recruiting tool for Navy and maybe some golfers out there thinking, okay, I can go to the Naval Academy and maybe I can play on the PGA Tour?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a great program. We've got 2 great coaches, Pat Owen and Mike Burke, and they're here in the back, it looks like. And, you know, they, well, Mike's younger than me, so he wasn't there when I was playing, but Coach taught me a lot about the game. He's a short game wizard and taught me a lot of different short game shots throughout college. And, you know, the Naval Academy is definitely, the athletic program is growing and growing the right direction and producing some really fine athletes. And above and beyond athletes, we produce really fine humans and really fine men and women officers in the Navy and Marine Corps.
Okay, right here, Tom.
You were talking last year about driving in terms of driving a boat. Was that really one of your primary things? I saw you driving through the Suez Canal this year, but my impression last year was that that was a specialty of yours and you really were the person or one of doing that. And can you talk about Navy qualities transitioning to golf?
So I got one Navy guy in the back shaking his head at me and one guy nodding his head at me about whether or not I could actually drive a ship. And yeah, I mean, the truth is I was really good at driving the ship. And I won 2 ship handling awards while I was in the Navy. And, you know, I was officer of the deck to drive the ship through the Suez Canal, and at my position on the ship and in my kind of age on the ship, that's really not who you would have picked if I wasn't really good at it. And you know, you would have picked somebody a little senior to me on the ship to do that.
And I seem to remember that was some enormous poundage, like 110 tons or something. You mentioned
Well, the ship's
like
about 10,000 tons.
only. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
All right, anything else? Well, Billy, on behalf of everyone here, thank you for your service to our country, and
Thanks, John.
congratulations on your first PGA Tour victory.
Thank you very much. Thank you.